thank all of you for being here. We're going to be talking about sleep disorders and how that relates to vocal profiling and what we can look at in your voice from the frequencies of your voice, which are a holographic representation of all that you are. I love this idea that whoever controls health controls your quality of life. And look at what is happening right now. Who is controlling our quality of life? The government, the federal government, the state government. My hope is that we can help you have dominion over your own health. We are being supported, we are being sponsored by the Institute of Bioacoustic Biology and the very new, wonderful Sound Health portal. We'll be talking about that, working on it this evening if you want to jump on and you can follow along. I'm Sherry Edwards, the director, the pioneer, from the Institute of Bioacoustic Biology, and I have some exciting news to share with you. I think that is just, I run the Institute of Bioacoustic Biology and Sound Health in Albany, Ohio, which is right across the state from Cincinnati. If you ever get close, please come and visit. Let us know. Make sure we're here. So with the Sound Health portal, that's an online workstation, and the Institute and the information that we have gleaned over the years, we're going to try to share with you information that will release you from other people being able to have dominion over your health. What we do here is stick a microphone in front of your face. We call it vocal profiling, and we know that the body is able to self-diagnose and reorganize itself. If that couldn't happen, a cut would never heal. Nobody would ever get pregnant. Whatever was happening to your body on its own wouldn't be going on. We'd have to give it direction every moment. So we know that this is a true corollary. And the other thing that we have come up with is we know that as we do these vocal profiles and look at the notes, the frequencies in your voice, it's like sour notes in a song. And we're looking for those sour notes. And people who have eye problems usually has A as a real problem. People who have liver has D as a real problem. They can't hardly sing it. They have a hard time even having it in their voice as they talk to you. Your voice does not lie. You may be able to lie with your voice, but not with the sounds of your voice. So we put that microphone in front of your face. We take a 30-second sample. We used to take 2 hours. Now we found 30 seconds will do it. And this is from a very ancient perspective and a very modern perspective. When in ancient times they used to heal with singing a song or giving you a color or a form, it worked, herbs and other things. So we're just taking into the modern age and putting it all into a computer to make it easy for you to use it. From the modern age, this is Dr. Apsley, and he says Sherry Edwards' work defines and demonstrates the unifying field theory that defied Einstein. Now, we didn't tell him we had modified Einstein's theory, but somehow he knew. He brought a little girl to us who had Down syndrome. She was 6 years old. We found out the frequencies that would reverse the damage of the gene. And now she doesn't have Down syndrome anymore. As a matter of fact, she was in the Olympics. When we got her, she could not jump off the ground. She couldn't jump off the ground, but now she's doing great and wonderful. Rhonda is asking, do we have a training soon? We are in training right now. Tomorrow is the second day. We have these 2-day trainings every month. We also have tutorials that I'll tell you about where you can do this on your own. We have 5-day class for people who want to help us do research, and we have a class that is scheduled around your schedule, and we do those for doctors. I'm going to try to keep up with all of these questions, but I'm having a bit of a hard time. Not only did Dr. Apsley look at what we were doing and say this is far beyond any esoteric, but AT&T has announced that BioAcoustics is the medicine of the future. And we have one other announcement today that is incredibly profound. MIT researchers use artificial intelligence to turn the coronavirus into a haunting melody. Now, we have been doing that for weeks, and most of you know that Jill Madsen wrote music to help with the coronavirus and turn it around. We have that on our site, available free for all of you. But think about this, MIT. We did this about 10 years ago with the government, and they wanted to see if from a vocal print we could see who had damage from acoustic blasts. And we were able to do that, and the government gave that information to MIT, so they've been doing some research. But the fact that we do songs and we do frequencies together, Jill Madsen and James Marshall, and MIT followed along. I think that's incredibly accepting. I think that's a phenomenal thing to be able to say that MIT followed in our footsteps. Mayo Clinic also have, but they haven't come to the music part yet. So we are doing a lot of this about the coronavirus and getting accepted, and especially we're sharing that with the public. We're giving away the Corona's Conflict. You can go onto the portal, that supporting portal, Sound Health portal, and get your voice done. I think it's still available. They did do a class where they were allowing people access to the actual software so you could do it on your own computer. If you're interested in more of that, it's on Sarah, S-A-R-A-H, Westall, W-E-S-T-A-L-L. It's on her internet site. It's on our internet site that you can download that class, all the materials that go with it, and you can jump on the portal and see if you can use this on your own. We don't do it. You can use it for your neighbors, whatever, to see who has been diagnosed and what's really going on. When we look at it, the people who are just getting over it have a lot of the node of B, and we'll share with you how that happens. And people just coming into it, they have lost their node of C in their vocal print. There's a lot of damage. I just got an article today that people who had coronavirus and they put them on these respirator thingies, it caused their lungs gelatinous buildup in their lungs, and that's what was killing people. Not the virus per se, but the respirator, that combination. And I don't know what they're going to do about that. I think take people with respirators. But it hasn't been tested, these vaccines. I am so happy that Trump took Gates and these other guys off the committee because they were giving advice that weren't good for the people. And we want you to have all the information about your health. So these are just some of the things that we have been able to look at that we want to share with all of you. I think to tie this into what we're doing, people are losing a lot of sleep over this. They're getting upset. There's this flight or fright kind of thing that's going on, and we really need to help you tone it down a bit. They are now giving children, well, not since we're not being able to get out. But they were giving children flu shots without their parents' permission. So we're going to be concentrating on a few different softwares. Now, if you do this on your own, we'll need to do Audacity. But if you go on the portal, they automatically take your vocal prints. So we'll be talking about all of these this evening. We can sign you up for a 2-day class free, and you're eligible to receive there 3 softwares: nutrition, which is really important for sleep and the coronavirus; muscles. Right now we are in muscle cramp territory. All of these frequencies are coming from outer space to us, like sunspot frequencies and all that. It's what controls the tides. And so we have put together a series of frequencies. We have columns in several books of what is in stress for the day based on the frequencies that are coming to the earth. So you can read that on our site, soundhealthoptions.com, under Keynote. And we put them up a month at a time so you can prepare for what's happening. Those of you who are really, really sensitive tend to enact or make active these things about a week ahead of time before we publish them. So we follow along with the frequencies that NASA's saying is coming to the Earth. So you're really sensitive to what's even coming near before it gets here. So a BioAcoustic Basics manual, instructional PowerPoints, articles, links, and a bundle of instructions and marketing things that you can use for your client. If you decide to take the 2-day or go onto the portal, you can begin to build up quickly a database of clients to show them what is going on and how this can be used. Important information. If you start using our database and templates, and you want to do this right away without waiting till next month for the class, go to soundhealthportal.com and sign up for a subscription to our online workstation, where you can do all of this on your own. To be eligible to use the software, you must attend that 2-day or go onto the portal and watch all the tutorials and see how to use it. So it has probably 30 or 40 tutorials. We have a catalog that has all the tutorials listed in it. If you want a catalog, it also is on our Sound Health Options site, or you can write to me, just my name, at Gmail. So we try to make it easy for you as much as we can. We also have a video for you, Miracles of Non-Medicine, and you can download that from our site. There's actually 2 videos on there, but Miracles of Non-Medicine shows you what we're able to do with all of this. This is your handbook, your BioAcoustic Basics for you to use in class, and I think 72 pages or more, and you get this all free with your class. You can buy it if you want now and not wait for a class. It's in the shopping cart on Sound Health Options. I don't know if this is on the portal or not, but I will ask, or Michael could just let me know, since I think he's on with us. Michael, can they get this handbook from you, from the portal? I opened your...
Oh, can you hear me?
Yes.
Oh, no, we don't have this book. It's exclusive through you.
Oh, okay. Well, maybe we should send it to you too. It's awesome. Everything we're saying here is in this book. So as we go through this evening, and do I have any volunteers yet? Yes, Madeline. So she's the first volunteer I see, so we will call on you in a few minutes. Just hang tight. So we're going to actually do a demonstration of sleeping and where the issues might lay. We're going to talk about some of them, but your voice will tell us what is really going on. What is the root cause of your sleep disorders? And good grief, it can be lots of things, from stress to vitamins to exercise to iron, on and on. So sleep-related disorders. Narcolepsy, you fall asleep anywhere. There's some commercials going on about it. Insomnia, apnea, where you quit breathing while you're sleeping, sleepwalking, snoring. Stress is another one that just causes insomnia. Causes light sensitivity. Melatonin is the hormone of darkness. That's its original name. For some people, if there's light, the melatonin won't drop in and put you to sleep. Actually, light will stimulate serotonin. That's why they leave the lights on in the chicken house for big growers, so they'll lay eggs 24 hours a day. Allergies, inflammation. We're finding a lot of inflammation that is coming with the coronavirus. Stress, GABA, benzodiazepines, hypervigilance like PTSD, biochemical imbalances. So lots of things, and that's how Michael, who's on with you, designed the portal, so we could look at all of these things and separate which one belongs to you. So sleep-related hormones. Melatonin, go to sleep. Serotonin, wake up. It's a neural hormone. Melatonin is the note of A sharp. We're going to look at that. Serotonin is the note of F. Melatonin supports your immune system, and while you sleep, allows your body to recoup. Low serotonin contributes to obesity. You don't have energy. Low equals aggressiveness. Improves your mood. It's a cofactor for many chemicals, antitoxin for the brain. So what supports melatonin? Tryptophan, normalized iron levels. Hydroxytryptophan, serotonin, acetylserotonin. Darkness, dopamine, being young supports melatonin. Having good balanced pineal activity and a normalized blood pressure. Now, we have a map for you that you can download from the portal. And when we look at sleep, we're looking here at hydroxytryptophan and tryptophan. This is how you create energy. This is how you detox. This is how you use energy. This is your DNA, and this is how you use all of your incoming resources. And right now, glutathione and methionine are two of the worst ones that are out of kink. So we have this program called methylation mapping, and you can use it on the portal just to see where everything is coming from. And we'll come back to that. What interferes with melatonin? High copper, I think that's a note of B. High fluoride, caffeine, that's a note of G. Aspirin, ibuprofen, Prozac, alcohol, trauma, tobacco. Several forms of cancer. And we can look at the three things that deal with cancer. Melatonin, well, it's four things. Calcitonin, catalase, and the frequencies for vitamin A. Beta blockers, boy, they have many people on beta blockers about their heart. I don't agree with that based on the numbers we see, that the beta blockers really destroy the calcium, open you up to cancer, and really cause problems with blood clots and brain and lots of other things. Exercise interferes with melatonin only because if you're exercising, you're probably not sleeping. and menopause. When menopause happens, your homocysteine goes down, your hormones go down, and so you begin to not be able to produce the melatonin. Tryptophan comes with turkey. Somebody asked that question. Okay, if we have time, Jim will do this. And Mary wants to volunteer. Who was the first one that volunteered? I was looking at the participants. That's where it was. Okay. Things that support serotonin. 5-HTP, that's a form of hydroxytryptophan. SAMI, which is the bioavailable form of methionine, which is here. So SAMI is the bioavailable form of it. Tetrahydrobiopterin, B for this. Tetrahydrobiopterin. That little map really comes in handy. Amy Yasko, we have permission to use it for these classes. Thyroid wakes the body up. Negative ions in water, and we can negatively ionize water with frequency. We can also change its pH. For pyramids, 4 negatives every 5 positive is really good to charge water. Phosphatidyl inositol, calcium, lithium, magnesium, hydroxycitrate, carnitine, B vitamins. So good stuff. B vitamins support everything. So vitamin C is an integral part of supporting serotonin to wake up, and also this corona stuff that's going on. We see the body as a perfect matrix of color or numbers, and we have figured out the colors and numbers for a lot of diseases. You look at Parkinson's and it's a lot of violets and purple. You look at liver and it's a lot of oranges and orange gold looking colors. So we have that all figured out and in our databases. And when we look at someone's vocal print, we try to look what matches. Is this 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9? If it goes 1, 7, 2, 4, 9, we know something's wrong. And your pH also can be a real problem with your sleep. So pH balanced foods is a shorter list for the bad ones. Sugar, flour, meat, kind of things, and that can mess up your pH. We cannot look at your pH if you do not use the right microphone. If you use your cell phone to send us a file, we can't look at some of the things. We have some other, there's a Go mic and a little round mic. I forget its name. It's made by Go mic, Samson. If you can get any of these gooseneck maps or mics, it would be great. Now this one at the bottom is not so good because it's hard plastic, and one falls to the floor and it's ruined. But this black one is a gooseneck and it's rubber. If you can get one of those, that is great. But they just aren't available much anymore. And we're testing new microphones all the time. But just a warning, a walk-around phone in the house, you need a line phone or a Polycom workstation, one of these mics hooked to your computer and hooked to your Audacity or the portal is most helpful. As we're doing all of these, we're designed to get to the root cause. And I can tell you, if you don't have the right mic, we cannot look at root cause. Because some of the mics don't get to the very bottom where we need to look in your voice, and some of them filter your voice. So a condenser mic that goes down to about 20, and you can test it out and see. We can tell almost instantly when you send us something that has a wrong mic on it. So we're going to do a couple of demonstrations, one about the nano voice. The nano voice was done in the early 80s. I did it as part of my graduate work. I created a software that would take your vocal print and interpret it and put it into your personality. And the reason I put this up here, because we're going to do it a different way, is because you can download this. You can use. I don't know why that's doing that. The little nano voice is now on the portal, but there's some things I need to show you first. When the nano voice first came out, it had all 12 notes, do, re, mi, fa, sol, la, ti, do, and in between. And when you turn on the mic and start to speak, this will fill up with little columns and tell you what is going on. But I wanted to show you visually that serotonin is that note of F, and melatonin is the note of A sharp. So when you see these in your vocal print, and this is what happens on the portal, you start this and you talk to 500 hits, 500 phonemes. It won't remember the words. So if you want to talk about something secret and what you want to do about it, it's okay. It doesn't keep the recording. It puts all of the notes in order. There are 60 of these and 24 of those and whatever. But here's mine I just did before the show, and it's high B. My immune system is heightened. Now, I'm trying to get a little cold, and I use vitamin C and nutribiotic. So this B is one of the indicators that you're getting over something or you're stimulating your immune system. And this is C. When it goes very low, that means that you're getting, I'm going to go there and show. So who was the lady that, I said her name, but I promptly forgot it. Well, there's a couple other people that wanted to volunteer. Good grief. There's just too much in there. Jim said he would volunteer. So I'll go down to J. And Jim, Guerci, I'm going to open your mic. You're allowed to talk now if you want to open your mic and...
Hi, Sharon.
Hi. Oh, that's great. We are in this live. Let's see what we can do with it. So you click the nano voice, and when I start this, you're going to talk until you see 500 up here. This is just soundhealthportal.com, and this is the front page. Are you ready?
Yes.
Okay.
So I just spatter about anything?
Yes.
Okay. Well, it's really good that I'm able to do this live with you. This is something that I've tried for a couple of months now, and finally, with the shutdown of everything, I've been able to find the time to sit down and take the classes that have interested me so much with what we've been doing, what you've been talking about, especially on Sarah Westall. Your insights and things like that have been something that I've been working on for years in different things, looking at different minerals, differing out the frequencies of the minerals, And it's actually really been interesting trying to put it all together. But what you have done, you've put it all together on a computer program, and that's something that I've envisioned for the longest time. So it's really good that I am touching base with you, that you have all this material, and I really applaud you that you're offering all the stuff, because this is what I've seen as the wave of the future as far as any of the medical and the frequencies that will be able to heal people rather than do things that are completely invasive and perhaps toxic as we move along. But as we really refine this, I could just see us moving into the future into a way that will be helpful for all human beings to really reach those potentials, to cut down on the pharmaceuticals and really help us get to that point where we are getting stronger, getting better than we ever did before.
Okay, lots of B. So you're enhancing your immune system. When you started, you had very little C. And if we had that here, I would say, look at Nutribiotic Grapefruit Seed Extract. I talked about that on Sarah's show. It won't allow any pathogens to adhere to your cells. It's an anti-emetic gluten. So there it is, and we're going to hit report, and it'll give you a little personality report. But as you know that the serotonin is the F, and here's the A sharp, that's high. And that's quercetin. This is the actual bug, the genome, that note of A sharp. So quercetin, that inside white stuff on grapefruit, would likely be able to help. So let's go to your personality report. What happened? I waited too long and it killed it. Rats, I don't know how to go backwards and get it. Well, I have one of mine up here, so we'll look at that in a bit. And you can go look at this. It is totally free. So if I'd have hit report like I should have, well, I didn't put my report on here. Let me see if I still have it. No, I don't. But you can look at each of these. This is just a set of Sona cards. And here's the note of C, and it represents vitamins and minerals. And zinc is a great thing to support your immune system, and it's down here. So you can look at this when you look at this mapping also. So we are going to go look at vocal profiling, and I don't think I'm where is. Let's see what the next one is. Oh, here's the mapping. You can get this on the portal. I think it's like $20 a month maybe, so that you can check out your friends and what's going on with their detox and whatever. Lots of things that you can sign up for on the portal. Inflammation. Somebody just asked me about Alzheimer's. Yes, we have two different kinds. We have a Lewy protein Alzheimer's also, and that's for environmental toxins. And that's where you're going to see something like glyphosate, which keeps you from sleeping because it's a toxin. Vaccines. So you can watch all of that with Lewy, L-E-W-Y, proteins. And when we look at toxins in the system and not getting rid of them, this is where we come. Maybe somebody... It won't let me touch these. These are little circles that comes with a map that we give you, so you can move these circles where there's a problem. Like SAMI. That is the active form of the methionine, and it starts to come in here. All this blue stuff is your genetics. Nitric oxide synthase, that carries out the trash. So you can move all these little red circles, and you can see where your body has the most problems. I love this map. You can also get all of this done at a doctor's office, and this one is from Nutrigenomics. It costs $625 last time I checked. This little program is $20 a month, and you can check you all you want. But it looks for what is missing and what's not doing well in your body. All of these blue things deals with how your body uses methionine. So the chart that it flips out tells you all these things. I love it. It's where I start with everybody I deal with. Bioacoustically speaking, almost everything is something else. So if you get a chart and it says your arsenic is really high, that arsenic frequency may be something else. So don't freak out. Call us and ask, or let us know, or call a practitioner. When I say, bioacoustically speaking, almost everything is something else. Pyruvate and inositol are the same frequency, I think. I'm remembering that. So you need to talk to a practitioner or learn how to interpret these. And that's what we do in this 2-day class. I did not turn the microphone back around, and I should have. Also with the portal, Michael, is this true for every level that people get hyper health so that they can go look up everything? Because these classes are a matter of sleuthing.
Yes.
So this costs you $75. Is it a year or a month? When you get it from Hyper Health, and you get it free on the portal.
I think it's $75 a year.
Okay. So we're going to be taking a wave. So that's the next thing that we want to look at. So I'm going to kill this. Move it over here. Oh, I should have shown you guys that. That would be... This computer's driving me up the wall. I had an explanation of how everything is something else. It got skipped. I don't know how. I guess I have to move it back over here to get it to work. I should just give up on that or go back one. Did you see that flip by there? I don't know if you can see it big enough. Can you see two women there? That it's an illusion, that it's two things at a time? So a frequency can be two things at a time. So if I'm looking at this, you see the young woman looking away? And you see the old woman looking down? Can you see him now? That was just an illusion I put up so you can get this idea of everything is something else. So we're going to take a vocal print now, and we're going to use Sherry's sound is off. Okay, I turned it up. Is it off now? Okay, sometimes when you open this Audacity, it takes the microphone down. Okay, I'm going to go look for our lady volunteer. Does anybody remember her name? Because I don't. We did Jim. He said he would volunteer. Several. Madeline. Let's allow her to talk. Okay, I think that was the one. Madeline, can you speak to us?
Hello, can you hear me?
Yes, that is wonderful.
Oh, thank you so much for having me on.
Okay, well, just hang, what do you call that? Hang there a minute till I can
I'm a senior, I'm hanging loose.
That's good. Okay, all the instructions are in that textbook. Red, take a print. Backwards, forwards. This will turn gold. Square means stop. Green triangle means play. And the blue is pause. So this little timer right here, Madeline is going to talk. There's a lot of shuffling around, Madeline. So just hold still.
Sherry, I only have an iPad. Is this going to work?
If you don't have a microphone, it's not going to work.
Yeah.
But
okay.
I can.
That's where I'm at right now.
Well, let's go ahead and take it and see what happens.
Okie doke.
All right, so I'm going to hit this red right here, and you're going to talk nonstop for 30 seconds. Are you ready to go?
I'm ready.
Go.
The historic folklore of thieves' oil. According to the long-told historic tale...
Stop. You can't read. That's not good.
Okay.
So just tell us about your day.
Oh, okay. My day is...
Hold on. No reading, no reciting, no counting. Okay, go.
My day is beautiful. The sun is shining. I'm on Vancouver Island, and we're all in a lockdown, as you know, which is really hard, the isolation. But I do try and get out and walk a lot. I have suffered from not from going to sleep, but from staying asleep. I normally wake up about 2 or 3 o'clock, and it's very debilitating. I know the other thing I have is from a head injury is constant nausea and a hatred of food, which has been going for 4 years. And it's really making my life miserable. So I would really love to be able to practice this. And
okay. Great, we got it. John T. Thie, I think, is how you spell his name. He wrote a book about when you wake up in the night, what time you wake up tells you what organ is being stimulated.
Yeah, I'm familiar with that. It was the kidneys, I think, that came up for me.
Okay, I'm going to mute your mic while we're doing this. So we're not going to save this. We're going to export it as a wave. And I'm just going to, Madeline, on air. And I've set up my computer, and this is all in your book on how to set up your computer, and it automatically puts it in my waves file. And I'm not going to kill it in case I have to come back to it. But we can now go to the portal, and this is my subscription to the portal. It's probably going to tell me I've timed out. Yeah, it is. So you have your little cache. Mine's a big cache, but everybody you do, it'll keep it for you, and it'll allow you to correlate it to the last time. So we're going to say we want a new client. This is the longest part. So Madeline, on air. And when's your birthday? Fake it if you want. Oh, let me unmute you again. I unmuted Michael, sorry. You're unmuted, Madeline. When's your birthday?
24th, 1946.
Say it again.
November
Okay.
24,
Okay.
46.
And
It should be
Canada.
November the 24th, not December.
Okay. I'll get it in a second. I can't even spell Canada. And female.
Yeah, I think so, last time I looked.
And this is where people have a problem. They don't look down here for what's going on, and they don't mark anything, so we cannot get any statistics. We don't use your name. We do use your location, because we have practitioners that say, do you have anybody with sleep problems in Canada? And then we go here and look at it. You mentioned some other things too. What would you like to look at?
The constant nausea. I'm really miserable and I have a hard time eating. I lost about 60 pounds and it happened right after a head injury. 4 years
Okay,
ago.
so trauma. We don't have trauma here. So we can say trauma, head injury, and we save this, save and continue. Then we're going to bring in your new voice file. This is all on tutorials. It's step by step of what we're doing in the book, pictures of it. So new voice file, we have to browse to find it. Madeline, and it will bring in your vocal print. Now we're going to concentrate on sleep normally, but I want to look at your systems. Save and continue. I'm going to hit systems, and it's going to give me 8 systems of the body and which ones are in the most stress. Hearing loss, 30%. Muscle cramps, 25%. Now, muscle cramps are in stress right now. Manic depressive, wheat allergy, inflammation. So we can look at all of these and see what is the most issue. 30%. So let's go looking for hearing. I could just do a control find. I think there's 2 or 3. Control find. There it is. And we can hearing and swallowing, hearing inquiry, 4%, 4%. Where's the one with 30? Hearing loss. Now some of these databases are very small. So we click here, and this is 4 things that deal with hearing. B12 too high, that's probably something else because B12 is water soluble. So it doesn't show up high very often. That's one of those things that can be something else. Vitamin E, very low. What's in the center is low. And E is water soluble, so your vitamin E likely is low. High methylsulfonate, I can't see, that's too little, methane. MSM, so that's too high if you're taking it. And there's vitamin E. Now vitamin E is high and it's low. It could be that vitamin E in one system is high, vitamin E in another system is low. But we can also look at, it could be a muscle. I don't remember what vitamin E is, but maybe it's the finger. So the finger on one hand might be high and inflamed, the finger on the other side. This is where we begin to correlate all of these as to what they are, what they mean. This looks, it's only 4 things. You think 30%. So we're looking at a very small database. Let's look at hearing inquiry and see if it comes up the same stuff. Some highs and lows. This is genetic loss of hearing. Biotin. After menopause, biotin goes way down, and sometimes you can feel little creepy crawlers, like somebody brushed a feather on your skin when biotin is low like this. Also messes with your hair and your fingernails. Myosin is high. Myosin 3. Myosin rebuilds the little hair follicles in the ear. So that's good that it's rebuilding them. And that's another genetic issue. We can go look up each of these. Let's look up actin. Where did actin go? I want something that's going to be easy to look up. Now this is where your hyperhealth comes in. Your biotin is low. That just flipped over there, out of sight here. Usually, what I do.
Can you hear me?
Go ahead, Michael.
Yeah, you should have clicked on the little search icon. Not okay. Try it again.
So go back to hearing inquiry. Biotin.
Now, this is showing us all of the hyperhealth items that have biotin in them. We want to focus on just the biotin word, and I'm sure there's an item there. We'll enter it right there, and then click on search off to the right.
Who's talking is the guru of the portal. So when we hit this, what is this? Sound Health Portal says unsaved changes. Cancel that.
That's okay. That's just because. Oh, go ahead. That's fine.
Now do what?
Click OK. Up on top.
Shouldn't it give us something?
Yeah, try it again. No.
So it's not going to show us anything, or I'm just being a pain here.
Let's close down the here search that you have on top where it says 1 of 13. Okay, now click on hearing. You got hearing loss. Now pick something you want to search. There you go, biotin. Go ahead and enter biotin where it says enter text to search. Click on search. And it should open up a new, there you go, click there. And here is biotin.
So it's operator error. So it gives you where the biotin comes from, how it deals with your metabolism. This is the research and reference stuff that Michael has built in. If you can't find biotin here, also this little green flower will find it for you. So we can say, okay, it tells you what it does. We can look at any of these, and this is built from functional medicine. If you want to look at any of these, you can print it, you can save it, but that's just from your vocal print. Now we want to go read your vocal print. So new. These steps are in your BioAcoustic Basics book. This blue is kind of the normal. And you see this very low loss stuff right here. That's indicative of not having the right microphone. Where the beginning part of this. Can you see here? how we don't have any beginning, it just kind of starts at nowhere and drops out. That's because your iPad or whatever you're using doesn't recognize these lower frequencies. It does recognize all these dark ones. That's the inflammation. So we should look there, definitely. These, anything open means it's active. So we can ask the computer pull points. Or you can do it on your own. You just want to look at a little bit. So we now need to pick a template. And our original idea was to look at sleep. We could pull the points by just sleep or highs and lows. There's a lot of different ways, and we try to teach you all of them, but not in this little short course. So we say sleep. And if I was doing this for you on my own, I would pick out inflammation, I'd pick out digestion. But this says 10% of the hits, 18 hits on sleep. Okay? Now the first thing you can do for your clients is go up here and say a report. And you can send this directly to your client. Not much here on sleep. Let's look at that second page. It has instructions on the front. The back is a dictionary. And you have a ranking here. And it tells us your serotonin receptor is the highest thing. Remember, we already looked at this. I think this has to do with cheese and beer and wine. Anything that's...
Go ahead and click on it. There you go.
Bad title.
Oh, okay. So... yeah, you have to edit. Okay, we have to fix that. But if you look for that word in Wikipedia, it should come up with something.
Does not exist. We may have misspelled it.
Yeah, the first one, though, there you go.
So this tells you about it, what happens, how it's used in the pathway in the body. Let's see if we can find sources. Nervous system, microanatomy, psychological influences, mood, anxiety, blah, blah, blah. So this is a plethora of detective resources that is just awesome. So you can look at what the what the ranking is here. So both the protein and the genome are in stress. One's low and one's your highest high. The genome is where the critter or whatever it is comes in, or whatever your gene preferences are, and then the protein that makes it work is also high. So the gene energy is low, possibly causing the protein to overwork. So we'd go back and look at this and try to see what is going on. Ghrelin is high. Ghrelin genome's high. That controls appetite. So we'd want to look at that. Tyrosine, thyroid, there's ghrelin epigenetic. This is what's causing this being low. It's causing the ghrelin here to be high. So we can put these together by sound, or you can use this as a management report. If we go back to the first page, it'll say this is a management report that you take to your doctor. And that's your actual vocal print. So that's the first thing you can do. You can also go look at their Krebs cycle. That map, so that you can see if anything that was on there is on the map. Triberamines, I don't think they're on the map. Ghrelin is not on this map because it's just methylation. Ghrelin you'd have to get from BioDiet or Ultimate Diet. The triberamine, I don't know what database that is in. Likely Digestion. Okay, now let's look at what are the numbers and what came out. Anything that's in this relevance, 30% or 30 hits, no, 30 relevance. That's the highest relevance. Michael's colored them yellow. Serotonin receptor. So if you take this to your doctor, I don't know if they can do anything about a serotonin receptor. There's a lot of serotonin medications. You might look this up on the internet and it'll tell you what a serotonin receptor is. You can see if you can find that in food, or what is the antagonist to it? Which receptor is it? 5-HT receptor. You can, it's HT instead of HTP. I was going to say that has to do with the tryptophan. Anti-serotonin antibody. 5-HT receptor. GABA, dopamine, epinephrine, norepinephrine. That's on that map. Substance P shows pain. So you can read about this and see what might be the issue that's going on with this. You can, if you have other templates, you can organize it by templates and see the interactions. Since we saw so much inflammation, that may very well be part of your digestion. We can open this up and say we want to do sleep. Can't spell sleep. Let's look at inflammation. Did I spell it wrong? I spelled it wrong. So 37 hits on that one. Let's see if things are related here. Now we have 3 issues that are relevant. Fibrillin, MSM. So if that's the highest high, it usually indicates that you're taking too much of it. If you're not taking it, it's probably some other frequency. I don't know what this is. Part of fibrillar extracellular matrix calcium binding is possible, needed to bind laminin, but lots of things I don't understand there and I'll have to go look up. So we can see that these yellow, most relevant pieces of information are connected. 2 of them are connected to inflammation, 1 of them to sleep. So we would concentrate on these 3 things. Try to run it down based on symptoms. This is your secondary. 34 and 23 is really far apart, so I would not combine them. But if this was 32, 31, I might combine them and look at all of it. Here's one that is 22 and 23 by its priority. They're both low. Extracellular glycoproteins reduce inflammation from sports injury. Maybe there is inflammation from the head injury. We can go back and look at super brain. Do you have migraines? we could look at headache, we could look at astrocytes, which is damage to the brain. And this will tell us where to look at that and what notes it is. 3 A's, 1 B, 4 C sharps, 4 D's, D sharp, a lot of D sharps. D sharps carry information and hormones to their destination. So you might look in there, and there's that fibrilin again. It's all low. It must be in a different octave, because you have it up in the first octave, and then when it appears again as a lesser relevance, it means that the same frequency has appeared in 2 different octaves. If something is high, we want to balance it or bring it down. If it's low, we want to provide more of it. You may have to give frequencies. We had a young girl in here that had her growth hormones really, really high. And we had to give her a whole brain of those to kick those growth hormones into working instead of just accumulating and getting very, very high. I should have looked at the questions. Good grief. Okay. What determines relevance? For many years we collected this by hand, and every note gets a relevance, what octave it's in, how many times it appears, how many times it has the same note in the same octave, a lot of different things. Michael took all of that and he computerized it, and he gave everybody these not readings. Michael, you want to explain a little bit more? I'm lost for words here. They aren't readings, they're...
Well, we took the vocal print, and we took the anomalous points that we find, and then we take the relationship between the anomalous points. And sometimes different anomalous points are harmonically related to other anomalous points. And so what we do is we analyze all the anomalous points and the relationship to other anomalous points. And we use that, and the number of times that those frequencies, because you can be in different octaves, you can be in any one of the octaves, but they're harmonically related. So we take how each of the points are harmonically related to points in other harmonics and provided, calculate a relevance on that. Basically, if we've got 2 points that are exactly the same, but they're in different harmonics, that, or different harmonic scales, that they are of more significance than if they're just in the same section. I think that makes sense.
I was at a loss for words for that too, but it's looking at each note and seeing how it relates to every other note. And then things that appear more than once are in a pattern for that particular thing, then we look at that in terms of harmonics and scales, if that makes any sense. Also, Michael, Larry has a question. I don't really understand it. What program is best to look at the chart prints? C?G file. I get a long box which is so pixelated that I gave up trying to do a screen print. Maybe you can answer him personally. I don't understand what he's asking.
Maybe unmute him. I don't understand it either.
Can you send it to Michael privately?
Maybe a screenshot too.
Yeah, okay. Steve says, when I was a kid, I slept and I would be completely motionless. When I woke up, back to consciousness in the morning, I would take a deep breath and come back alive, and my brain would continue the thought or sentence that I had just before falling asleep. That is weird. Do you remember your dreams, Steve? Mary Murphy says she sleeps like a baby every night. Congratulations. How many? From Mary POLD. No, it was Madeline. On Now They're Married. Please try. Okay, Mary, let's do you next. Let me find you over here. I really can't remember who was next. Mary, LM, KLM. Okay, Mary, I'm allowing you to talk, so you can unmute yourself and talk. Well, I can't hear you if you're speaking.
It's not this Mary, it's the other Mary.
Let's look. LM. Okay, who was talking who said it was the other Mary?
Mary Murphy was talking, and it's Mary, just lost it. Okay, Mary POLD something that wants to volunteer. Oh, here it is, POLD RUHI.
Is that the first name I hear? I'm not seeing it.
That's her last name. Her name's also Mary. If you look in the chat, you'll see her.
Okay, can you guys see this box I'm looking at? There's a Mary H. Mula something Atsky, and that's the only M's I have. Let's go over here to panelists and see if she's there. No. So she may be in chat, but somehow she's not in my list under that name. I just don't see it. That's weird. All right, 13 more messages. I just don't see her in here. Can you see the list of participants?
No, we can't.
Not even on your computer?
No, we can't.
Go up to the top and there's a list of participants. Under, you're seeing this email or this. I just do not see it. I found it. All right, unmute. You were in another box with panelists somehow. Okay, Mary, you should be able to talk. Well, I'm not hearing anything from Mary, even though it shows she has a microphone. Are you trying to talk, Mary? You are unmuted. Well, let's see who else volunteered here. So I don't have to look. Okay, Vanessa. Let's open your mic. Do you have sleep problems? Okay, Vanessa, you're at the top. You should be able to open your mic.
Are you able to hear me?
Yes, wonderful.
Fantastic.
Okay. Okay, do any of you know the first step?
What do you mean the first step?
What do we do first? We take a vocal print.
Yes.
Okay, you're going to talk for 30 seconds. Go.
Okay. So I have been having trouble sleeping since I started menopause. Up until then, I was sleeping like a baby, and obviously the hot flashes would come and go. And then they left. It only lasted for about 4 months, but I'm now having trouble sleeping where I wake up 2 or 3 times a night. And I have no idea what could be causing it.
Okay, we got it. Let's see if we can find your root cause. So if we put Vanessa online and save that, you have to set it up at 32K 16-bit mono, and that instructions in your book. So we go to new. We want to do a new person. And VANESSA online. Birthday?
November 1768.
You can lie here.
I don't mind.
What state are you in?
California.
Female.
Mm-hmm.
And we want to look at sleep. Anything else?
I've got really bad allergies right now. I think I have issues with my spleen and lots of lower back pain, and my knees are horrible. Lots of pain with my knees. That's basically it, the usual aches and pain. My knees are the worst.
And you said back pain?
Lower back, yeah. Surrounding around my sciatica, that lower part area in my back, in the pelvic area, I would say.
Okay, you mentioned something else. Oh, menopause and hot flashes. Biotin help hot flashes, and we have a whole program here. We haven't got up online yet, but we're trying FLASHE. Okay, save and continue. Okay, what do we do next?
Oh gosh.
Bring in the voice file.
Mm-hmm.
Well, do you see Vanessa there? Oh, on the bottom.
Mm-hmm.
So that'll come in, and we'll save it. Now we're going to go to Bio Bundles. There's a whole different category. Sleep. Do we not have sleep? You say you wake up, so it could. I don't think it's apnea. Not there. How about let's look at metabolism.
There's an A in the front.
Energy, there's metabolic syndrome. Whenever you get stumped, like I thought we had sleep there, but metabolic syndrome will give us information about what's going on with your body. Fatty liver and lipodemia. Lipodemia is when the adipose tissue comes in, but the body won't let it back out.
Wow.
2.3. Okay, let's look at a fatty liver can wake you up at night every few hours.
Mm-hmm.
So let's look at that.
Okay.
Highs and lows. Orexin. I can see from this that we need to run you through adiponectin and this together. So fatty liver is an issue, and lipidemia.
No idea what that is.
It's like Kim Kardashian, where all of her fat's in her butt and
Mhm.
thighs.
Yeah.
That's where a lot of it starts to lay down and not get out. But you can see a lot of this overlaps. So we started with sleep, but what is causing the lack of sleep probably is this fatty liver.
Okay.
So we can go back and let's pull the points. We have the file here, but it says 0. So we really haven't looked at it by way of its frequencies. I did something wrong. All right, Michael, help me out of this. How do I get back to pull points? There it is. I got it. So you have a lot of lows here. And these lumps, that's inflammation too. This is one I would pull because it's so open. This one and this one's probably related. So let's pull points current. Now to use 2, I'll just use 3, I think, and see what's related. So if I use sleep, and liver, there'll be a lot of things show up with turquoise if there's a relationship. There's 21 hits, 76, many more hits. So that liver is way more important than the sleep. When this comes up, if there's a lot of turquoise, you can see the interrelationship of each of the frequencies with the other. See? Your sleep,
Mm-hmm.
1, 2, 3. No, those are all with turquoise. You only have one little thing here that's not related to fatty liver and sleep both. That's an awesome chart.
Mm-hmm.
I would go back and pick this one. Sometimes I can't get where I'm going. Because I think that one's important. I think this one's important.
Mm-hmm.
And we can say update. Now we know your sleep problems deal with your fatty liver. Isn't that awesome?
That's amazing.
So let's go look at your report. Oh, I didn't save and continue. This will give us a priority for just the layperson on where to start. Let's look at page 2. Page 1 is your instructions. What does this mean and that mean? The last page is your directory. So we're going to go look at the second page. I can send this to you if you want. Here,
Love that. Mm-hmm.
write to me at Sherry with an A, SHARY at Gmail, and give me your email address, and I'll send these to you. But it says here,
What's the address again? The email?
Sherry, Sharry, Edwards at Gmail.
Oh, fantastic.
So it says your leptin receptor is working really hard, and whatever PDM16, aka PKA, I don't know what that means. This adenyl cyclase? Oh, yours is low. When this is high, it makes you more sensitive.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, this PRDM16 acts as a transcriptor co-regulator that controls the development of brown adipose. Brown adipose is what is the good fat. Previously co-regulated blood present moment. Really skinny people who can eat everything have a lot of brown fat.
I wish I had that.
We have the frequencies. We have the frequencies for it. Controls the cell fate between muscle and brown fat cells. Looks like that would be a very interesting one that you want to keep, but sometimes when it's the highest high, it's not really working, it's just accumulating.
I see, interesting.
California, north or south?
North. Close to Sacramento, half an hour from Sacramento.
I don't think we have anything there, but we could do your report and see exactly what frequencies we need to do and see if it's in any of our little boxes, like back box.
My goal is to become, to offer the services in Northern California.
That is awesome. We don't have anybody there.
That would be my goal.
Okay, let's look at relevance first. GLUT 3 and 2, those deal with the diabetes.
That runs in my family.
Well, we need to take care of that because that's a genetic that's pushing it.
Yep.
Highest leptin receptor, high. Leptin, high. So leptin is accumulating because the receptor is either overworked, closed off, something. You can get leptin use, leptin detox. I can't remember the name, but look on Amazon. That's where I was finally able to find it. And it comes in a package, leptin and leptin detox, and you take them together.
Excellent.
But I'm not allowed to tell you that.
Okay.
So you can see here how the fatty liver and sleeping are combined in your most important issues. Now this one goes from 44 to 28. I would not combine them. I would treat this different. There's your ghrelin. Usually ghrelin low is a good thing.
Okay.
But you need to look it up and see. Insulin receptors are low. Okay, the first sign of diabetes is insulin receptors, and it's exactly the same frequency as your upper underarm. Fat begins to accumulate underneath your upper arm because it's the same frequency. There's stuff here I don't know. That's epigenetic. That means it's making it happen. So we need to check your insulin resistance. Looks like some thyroid in there. This is dampening your thyroid. It's low. That should be okay. But the liothyronine being low, not good.
Okay.
So if you send me your address, I can bundle this and send it on to you. This we call a management report. And so we can look at over 200 different things here and see what is really the first thing to look at. So it's going to give us a score of about 200 things. So 277 is your first one. And this is a lot of diet and digestion and stuff mixed together. So that might be one that we want to use. Metabolomics, we really need to look at this, although it's only 11% here. This is some cancer indicators.
Okay.
151 for brain maintenance and repair. We look at down around 50. So the first one we'd want to take care of would be this NSYNC. And that's a bundle, like we try to look for with sleep. It's several computer programs. And they're just now putting bundles together. So if people want to work on Corona, there's a bundle. Circulation, there's a bundle.
Mm-hmm.
Steve, who is our resident guru for nutrition, says glucose tolerance factor, chromium, is required for glucose to be loaded into cell. Deficiency causes diabetes. Innate response, it must be a company, has a good whole food. Did you see glucose tolerance factor on her report, or are you just recommending that? You can take Steve's word for it. He's good.
Okay.
And no, did not see, but it's important. Yeah. Ben Folks said lipidemia is a type of swelling. He says fat cells basically overgrow. Yep, potassium will help take care of that. We have a whole program on lipidemia, and you can see what's causing it.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, somebody had a question here.
Thank you.
Oh, you're most welcome. Thanks for volunteering. There was a question. Did it get by me? I can't see it. Well, if there's any other last questions, you can put it in the chat. Michael, do you want to add anything? Could you show them how to join the portal? Michael, you still with us? I don't. Oh, attendees. I don't see him. I think he planned to be here an hour and... Nope, there you are. Michael, do you want to add anything to this?
You wanted me to show people how to join the portal?
Yeah. I could give you... I could make you a panelist so you could... more.
Or you could go there. You've got the portal open. A little over to the right. The one with the C around it. Keep going.
This
there
one?
You go. That one right there, yeah.
Okay. So you tell me what to show and I will.
Yeah, so in this case, the portal, we have a 15-day apprentice program that you could sign up for. If you click under products and portal subscriptions there, top, there you go. Yep. Go ahead and click.
I'm clicking. It's not...
Oh, okay. So we have the apprentice program, and with that you get a couple of weeks of playing around and getting your feet wet. We have training on the portal too, so we have a step-by-step walkthrough of how to use the portal, and that's under support. So we have the apprentice tutorials there, it's a very good set of really short, concise, focused tutorials that you can go through. And here we talk about the mic, and Sherry did a little bit of that tonight, and how to get a good voice recording. That's an excellent video because there's more to it than just talking into a microphone. So step 3 is really good. And then Sherry showed the Audacity and how to install it, not install it, but we'll show you how to install it and how to set it up, and then actually record and edit. If you want to edit out the dog barking or the blank spots and stuff like that, we actually walk you through how to actually use Audacity. An excellent video. And here, then below that, we talk about the overall structure of the portal, where what the goal is, we created a client, and then that's step number 1. Then we load up voice files, that's step 2. And then 3, we create evaluations. So it's a real easy process to get your arms around. And the more difficult part is making sense of all of the information that you're getting, because you're going to get, like Sherry says, one thing actually could be many things. And if things are high, that could be, caused because other things are blocking the usage of that. And so we wish, we could just, you run a report and you say, oh, this is the problem. You've got the coronavirus. It's so difficult to do that because the body is so complex. But the steps are 1, 2, 3 to do this. But like I said, the challenge is going to be how you interpret the data. You're going to have to use a lot of resources, whether it's, what you get from your client, and they may have other tests, and then what you get out of the voice. But the apprentice program is an excellent place to start.
Okay, when we go back out of this, there is some wonderful resources. I'm trying to cancel here. All of these resources, can you explain them that they have access to?
Sure. These are some resources that people in the bioacoustic community, and these are the people that Sherry's been training for years. This is not something I came up with. This is something that those people gave me. So you've got the hyperhealth, which is the first one. Let's go past that one. And the next one, we got trigger points. And if you click into these, they'll actually open up a new web page for you. And it talks about, if you're working with a client, you can talk about, where are the hot spots, where's the pain. This is more, I think, physical than it is, has to do with biochemistry at all. But here you can talk about, work with the client and really tune into the trigger points. You go back to that. Go ahead.
One of the things we have is something called muscle complex, and it's for athletes to identify the muscle and the biochemistry of the muscle that's causing the problem, and we use trigger points in that a lot.
Excellent. Go back there. This next one, go ahead. Genetics. You see that everywhere through the genomes and everything else. And this is a great reference that you can use to search for specific genes and what they mean, how they interrelate. It's a free resource out there for you. The Mercola. I think Sherry has a close, relationship with this group, and they have some great information out there for you to take a look at.
Especially about what nutrients are in food, and if you lack A and E, what food would bring that to you?
I think practically you mentioned Dr. McCullough all the time. And here's a fun one, go to the FDA, which is the next one. We all love them, don't we? But anyways, I thought it'd be worthwhile because, they're key in the whole, medical community, obviously. So if you want to get to their resources, there you go. And one more, let's see what the next one is. The little speaker there is a new project that we've been working on, and it's a tone box which you can download to an Android device. And with this you can record voices. That's the recordings, the first one, and then playlists. You can actually, as a practitioner, you can come up with tones that you can send your client, and this is what's known as the tone box here. So. And then this is the help. It actually takes you out to the training videos. for the technician, I believe it is. And here, the same thing, prepare your computer, scroll down the microphone stuff. And so if you want to quickly get out there and take a look at the training to refresh any kind of stuff you have questions on or whatever else, there's just a click away. And the last one is just your account.
Okay, one of the things, I forgot what I was going to say, that we forgot here. Boy, that is weird. My memory is shot today.
Well, one thing we could have done here, if you click on the Vanessa online client, if you go back to her client page, yeah, right there. And if you go into info, there's a couple things here that shared with. There's an N/A there.
Oh, I just remembered. So wait a minute until I write it down and client service reports. Okay, go ahead.
Okay, so shared with. So for instance, let's say you're working on a client, you've got some questions, you reach out to Sherry, you reach out to one of the other practitioners, you can easily share this file with somebody else. There's a lot of information here. If you need some help, it's a great resource. Share it with them. They can take a look at what you've done. They can add to it, change it. The other one on the right-hand side is the email address. If we wanted to send this report immediately to Vanessa, we would just enter in her email address. Right below region, you got CA there for Canada.
I don't know where I am. Here, email.
Right there.
Yeah.
If you entered her email address, you could communicate this report directly to Vanessa, just by a push of a button.
Yeah, we didn't put it in there because this is going to become public and we don't want our email in there.
Yeah.
Okay.
Anyways, so we use email to receive voice samples and email to send out reports. So much of this stuff can be done electronically, immediately over the internet.
I love this piece because you can do 2 or 3 prints and compare them to see if what you're doing works.
Yeah, it's a great thing. The progress report is intended to watch the progress of your client. So for instance, you could do this on a daily basis, a weekly basis, or whatever, but you could watch their bioacoustic biomarkers, how they raise and lower. And one of the key things, again, is that you want to capture good voice recordings. We have step-by-step instructions on the type of room you're supposed to be in. Don't let train signals come by when you're recording, or airplanes fly over, or somebody outside mowing the lawn. So we have some guidelines on how to create good voice samples. But after you do that, that progress report will help you track all of the toxicity and aging and metabolics, all those kinds of factors with each of those voice samples.
So if we hit 2 here and say progress report, it can show us, I don't know if those are the same day.
No, we need to try that again. If you go back to voice samples, first tab, there you go. Go pick it, and then the progress report, little up, go up, right there in the tool. No, not that one. In the toolbar, right above the view, over on the right-hand side of the page, by the spyglass. There you go.
These must be on the same day.
Exactly, yeah.
Okay, let's find one that's not the same
Yeah,
day.
they're on the same day, so, yeah, good point. There you go.
So we made him worse, whatever we did. But one was his ears and one was his knee. So these they don't look right compared, because you started with this many anomalies and we made it worse. But that's like 3 or 4 months apart.
And you've got to take into account that you have to get quality recordings. If you don't start out with a quality recording, if there's echoes in the room, strange noises, too many spaces between the words, you've got to start out with quality stuff in order to get quality results.
Yes, and I can't tell what these are. And I thought, I love it that we can just pick something on the same day. And we started here, we gave him sound, and this is what we progressed to. I like that. The other thing on the portal that we totally forgot here, services, that they can send their clients to go get a Parkinson evaluation or a stem cell evaluation, and it can be sent to their cache online. It can be sent to their stuff, their information.
Right. So, yeah, if your client comes in and requests a specific campaign, Parkinson's, Gardasil, stem cells, we've got coronavirus in there also. We call it corona conflicts. They send it in and they put your name in there. You'll get an email with a complete link to their voice samples so you can do your own analysis.
So if they pick stem cells and they get it done with these directions, how do they send it to a client?
Right at the bottom here, we do send voice samples.
Ah, okay. It's a little slow going here. You just need to play with this, and this is why Michael gives you all of that time to just play and see if this is what you really want to do.
So with the little blue area that Sherry's getting into, they can actually use their computer to record voice samples. It's not optimal. As she had said before, that there are good microphones and bad microphones. It's really important that we start out with something good, a good quality voice recording. Here, if they have an iPad or a computer that they have a microphone, and they buy one of those ceramic mics that we recommend, you can get a good voice recording. Record it here and they can email you the results, or they can actually use, after they record this, they download it and they can send it to the portal, which then I'll receive, and we'll process it, and we'll send you a copy of the email so you can also process it.
We're getting some questions. Rhonda says, what time does training start tomorrow and how do I sign up? You can't just start in the middle. This is the second day. But if there's enough people, and we're getting about 50 per group, if enough people want it, we'll add an extra class. And you sign up on soundhealthoptions.com. Would somebody put that in the chat? Sound Health Options under classes. Was the second one possible? Yes, it was after the fires. And we helped a lot of people with the fires. We called it breathing, and were able to tell what was causing their problem. Michael, I have to replace my computer. Is there a type of computer that is better for doing this work?
This is all over the internet. This is all using a browser. You could use an iPad. You could use a Samsung, tablet if you wanted to. So, no, there isn't. You don't need a high-powered computer. You need a good microphone and internet access. Those are the only two things. We're trying to make it as simple as possible for you.
We just tell they need lots of space. I use Toshiba. So, okay, 3. We have catalogs. I will just send to every one of you on here with us a catalog. So it's got all the tutorials listed in it, all the microphones. Mary, I took a 3-day class last year. Would love to chat with fellow Ohioan. I'm way at the bottom of Ohio. Mary Murphy said she's taken the 5-day class. She survived it, too. Kathy Stewart has a question. Let me allow. You're unmuted, Catherine. Kathy, you're still here? You're unmuted. Well, maybe she is having mic trouble. Or you could put it in the chat. We could look at it. My husband's from Cleveland, okay. Yes, we have a master's class, and it's set on your schedule. It's about 10 hours, and then we just do a lot of practice. But that's in the catalog, so I'll have them send that to you tomorrow. I don't have it right here. 7 new messages. How about using the frequencies instead of vitamins? We do use frequencies instead of vitamins. James Marshall, the guy who wrote La Ciel, it's on our site, he couldn't eat because his bowels were dissolved, and we fed him vitamins by sound. Oh, Catherine says, no question. The little Samson microphone you recommend for your site's wonderful. I use it to record meditations. Ah, good. Vanessa said that. Sherry, I took the March 2-day and would like to set in on the class tomorrow on autism. Is the class tomorrow on autism? Call the office. Actually, email Sound Health Info and tell her what you'd like. Well, all of our emails have been dumped, and Google has helped us get them back. So why don't you just call and leave a message? I check the messages every couple of hours. Okay, I don't see any more questions. Thank you, George. SoundHealthOptions.com and choose the Classes tab. And if there's enough of you, we'll have an extra class. We have apprentice, technician, 5-day, masters, elite. They're all listed in the catalog. Okay, any last words, Michael? Are you still there?
I am. I think I'm muted, though.
You're unmuted now.
Oh, thank you all for joining. It's been a great evening. Thanks.
And if they have questions about the portal, where do they, there was a question over here, how do they get in touch with the portal if they're having trouble?
The best way is to send an email to soundhealthportal@gmail.com.
Okay, sounds wonderful. Thank you for being here. Please jump on the portal and just see what you can find out about yourself. That little nano is such a deceptive looking little program. It can tell you a lot about where you want to go. Thank you for being here. Our rose-colored wish is that we can help all of you have dominion over your own health.